Our first look at the Newtown Jets for the 81 Premiership, led out by the indomitable Tommy Raudonikis. A late change to the side sees Mick Pittman out of the game, and Graham O'Grady moves into the lock position. Phil Hunt, a local junior, comes in as 5'8".
And there he is, the Newtown halfback and captain Tom Raudonikis, in this match today against his old club, the Magpies of Western Suburbs.
And the Magpies move onto the field, and some fine ball carriers in this Western Suburbs side, Gary Dowling and John Rebo in particular. They're joined in the back line by a wealth of experience, Schubert, Bevan and Goodwin. Their halves an exciting combination, Lamb and Neal. In the forwards, Dallas Donnelly, conspicuous by his absence, of course. He'll be out of this team for a long time. The West can still boast a big and solid pack. Paul Merlot, Bob Cooper, capable of making the breaks. They'll be backed up by Greg Cox, Leadbeater, Jeffries and Arbo.
John Rebo, a match winner to say the least. So the kick-off to start this match. And Greg Cox, a late replacement for Jim Lease, does the honours. It's going down to a former Magpie O'Grady, and Sigsworth, the brilliant young Newtown fullback, hit heavily by a three-man Western Suburbs tackle. And the first penalty goes to Newtown against Jeffries in the tackle on Sigsworth. Sigsworth will take the kick for touch. Had a dreaded year in 1980. Play about 10 metres short of the halfway, and this man is another former Magpie, Stephen Blythe, nicknamed the Axe when he was at Lidcombe. Bowden, hit by Cooper and Cox. Merlot also in the tackle. Mackay, formerly with Eastern Suburbs. Goodwin combining there with Terry Leadbeater. That's Michael Pittman. He's playing in number 8, but he's playing second row with O'Grady playing lock, with Phil Gould out of the Newtown side. Sigsworth just getting his kick in before he was hit by Cooper. Now Dowling has them offside, but he decides to take it out. And Hooker Walters and second rower Pittman take him to ground. Goodwin is the dummy half. A match with several players on both sides having done service with the opposition at one time or another. So it's quite likely there'll be quite a bit of stick and spite in this match, as is often the case. We saw it last Sunday in the Manly West match, in fact. Neal now. That's Cox. And he's found touch with a good kick, Cox. He's a very judicious kicker of the ball, always has been. And this scrum will go down just outside the 22 on the Newtown end of the ground. I might point out at this stage that if you're not seeing the lines, the 22, the 10s and the halfway, clearly that was explained to us before we came to air, that it would have been a waste of time putting them down again with the rain falling the way it was. Alan Neal slipping away from the tackle before being tidied up by number 6 O'Grady. Jeffries. And he's hit heavily by Stephen Blythe. Dummy half is Terry Lamb. Goodwin. Raudonikis' tackle was good, but that was Dowling coming on the burst. This man is John Rebo. Played with the Jets and given quite a reception back to Henson Park. And here's a penalty, is it? No, it's play on, says the referee Goldsworthy, and Rebo plays it 2 metres short of the line. Neal now. Terry Lamb beats O'Grady. Taken by Steve Bowden, 10 metres away from the Newtown line. Jeffries is the dummy half. Neal almost lost it, away from one tackle, but taken by Hooker Walters. Leadbeater on the burst. That's him in 11. Cooper now. Last tackle for the Magpies. The bomb could come, but it's not. It's Leadbeater. Tackled 12 metres out. And so the first scrum of the match to pack down about 15 metres in from the grandstand side of Henson Park. Raudonikis' feed a bit doubtful. Out the same tunnel, that's in the second row, but he's allowed it to go on. And Raudonikis is tackled on the open side. O'Grady. Merlot making the tackle. Bowden. Pittman managing to regain possession or keep possession for his side. A penalty goes to Newtown against the Magpies inside the 5. Walters. Bowden. And a scrum will go down midway between the 22 and halfway Newtown's end of the field. Tuesday night next on Channel 10 at 9:30, a rugby league special as Frank Hyde hosts the greatest games of all. The day when 78,000 people crammed into the cricket ground to watch Provan lead the mighty Saints in their quest for their 10th consecutive premiership against the young Rabbitohs led by Jimmy Lyle. You can relive it all with Provan, Raper, Gasnier, Langlands, Walsh, Smith, Sattler, Moses, Longbottom, Cleary, Brannigan and Sims. And that'll be followed by the 66 first test between Tommy Bishop's Lions and the Kangaroos, which included Irvine, Smith, Raper and Langlands at their very best. 9:30 Tuesday, a Rugby League special on 10, hosted by Mr. Rugby League, Frank Hyde. Rodonicus feeding, another incorrect feed, but this time he's got him. Yes, there's no doubt about that. The scrum prior to this back in the corner was certainly incorrect, the feed, but it was allowed to go that time. So here's the West side on the attack again. Neal playing it to Jeffries. Lamb, Goodwin, he's lost it. And regain possession. Mello. Neal. Dowling. Picked up nicely by Lamb. Ginger Meggs again, through to Goodwin. High bomb for Bevan, who has been taken out of the game by McKellar. And the referee ordering a knock on both ways in a scrum. There's the Rodonicus feed again. Well, he's got to get him again, surely, yes. He's called Rodonicus over now for his feeding of the scrum. It's not a bad kick by Rebo. He's put them in a situation where the free will be taken 12 metres out. Set move by the Magpies. Neal, little pass to Cooper. Cooper's home. Yes, that's a try. The big man was tackled 2 metres out, but so tall is he that he just fell across the line. Set move, well rehearsed, and working with the precision of a machine that Masters would want.
Yes, that one went according to plan. Cooper taking the ball up beautifully there. And of course, when he looked like going down, it was his sheer momentum that carried him across the line as he belted through Sigworth, gave him a nasty knock on the head and was able to stretch out and put the ball down for the first try of the match.
So the Cooper try to be, for West fans, hopefully converted by this man, John Rebo. He came from West in Brisbane. Originally switched to Valleys before joining Newtown in 1978 and signed with West in 1980. He played 29 first-grade games with the Newtown club and scored 21 tries for them. Here he is now from back on. Strikes it low. It's going to get the 2 points. It did. It certainly was an unorthodox one. But there's the scoreline. That's the history book. West 5, Newtown 0. Cooper getting the first touch following his try. Merlo. Cox away from Walters, ridden into the ground by Mackay, and from behind by Blythe. Neal. Oh, he's put down the simplest of balls, but we're going to see plenty of that today with this greasy pitch. Certainly not a day for fancy stuff. Short, sharp, and safe would be the 3 S's for today, I would think. Ryan. That's Hetherington. One of the Illawarra players in Sydney these days. Walters almost through. And it's a Newtown penalty. That's against Lee Beater in the tackle. Strikes it. It's getting away. In fact, it's gone outside that right-hand upright as we look at it. And Sigsworth failing with the penalty. So the scoreline remains at 5-0 in favour of Wests with 17 minutes gone first half. Sigsworth. Roy Masters barred the media from the dressing rooms prior to this game. And the penalty goes to Wests. He talks with Cox, who was the offender. McKellar. That's Blythe. I'm surprised this ground is as good as it is. This is Hunt. I honestly thought we'd come down here and see something that resembled a lake, John.
It is remarkable. Even in the previous games, it hasn't been torn up at all. It's holding really well.
O'Grady. Rodonicus. Across Ryan, and Blacklock's put it down. Now Ryan's offside. Yes, no doubt. Good ruling by Goldsworthy.
It levels the penalties at 5-all. Newtown leading the scrums 3-2.
Scoreline 5-0 to Wests. We're looking for the National Panasonic Electronic Sales and Rentals Man of the Match today. John will be doing that presentation in the dressing rooms after the match. And talking with the man of the match. And they've been great sponsors of ours for a long time, and it's a prize very much valued by the players. And I'm not just throwing that away as a plug for our sponsors. But, ooh, gee, it was unintentional, but he ran into a short left from Bowden. Now, Terry Lamb ran into his own player, and Newtown have got possession. I took a quick look at Goldsworthy to see whether obstruction was going to be ordered. Mackay. Goldsworthy quickly realised, fairly certain that Newtown had possession anyway. Blythe. He's away from 2. He pushed Terry Lamb away like a shearer's dog at the Friday night dance. But the Axe plays the ball now. He's a lot bigger than he was when he carried that nickname with great esteem at West. So here's a chance for the Jets. It's been put down by West a couple of times, and then Terry Lamb, realising the problem, reefed it across the touchline, but it's a penalty to the Jets. He was offside, apparently. Penalty kick by Sigsworth. This time he's online, and 5-2 now. 5-2 in favour of Wests over Newtown. 21 minutes gone first half.
We have a giant Sunday Telegraph for you this week with a chance to win 5...
Scrum in centre field. 10 metres, Magpie side of halfway. Rodonicus, O'Grady, Hunt, Ryan, and put down behind him by Hetherington, but the ball has gone on forward. And another scrum.
Newtown certainly frittering, making it easier on the men passing the ball.
They were doing just that, John, with the inside backs, and then the pass from one centre to Hetherington was just far too long. They win another scrum, though, and this is keeping them on the attack with O'Grady to play it. Sigsworth up the centre. Rain still falling, and another penalty to Newtown against Terry Lamb. So now then the young Newtown fullback is set to take it. We'll be calling the Manly Balmain match on 2GB radio tomorrow. Should be a great game, match of the day. And here's Sigsworth hitting it sweetly. That's a good kick. Reducing Western Suburbs lead back to 5-4 now. Cox restarts. This is Ray Blacklock, who came down to Penrith, to Newtown from Penrith this year. Hunt. Rodonicus. Sigsworth. Quick passing to Blythe. And taken by the number 10, which is Merlot. Correction, Cooper. Here's Walters. Now O'Grady. Sigsworth. And the scrum to go down 10 metres on the Newtown side of the halfway. Rodonicus. Sigsworth picked up by Blacklock. Quick passing to Ryan. Calling Blacklock on the inside. Finds McKellar on the outside. He's very fast. They won't catch McKellar. McKellar streaks in for a Newtown try. The Jets have hit the lead at 7 points to 5 and see it again on our big game replay. A quick scrum win. Rodonicus beat one man and unloaded to Sigsworth, and quick passing was the order of the back line. And then Michael Ryan did so well. He shaped inside. He, in fact, drew the West defence into him, and then he sent McKellar on a clear passage to take Newtown to 7, West 5.
Yes, the two key men in that. Tommy breaks from the scrum base here, looks as if he's in trouble, steps inside, but gets a beautifully delayed pass away and keeps the move running out through the back line, and then it's Ryan who makes that nice break. Keeps coming, throws a dummy back inside. After that, it's shut the gate. McKellar strides for the corner. Good try by Newtown.
So there's the length of the kick for Sigsworth. He's on the 22, and he's about 20 metres in from the far touchline. Good work by Michael Ryan in that try. He shaped on the inside, but what he did do, he managed to commit Ian Schubert, the right winger for West, to come in to take him, giving McKellar that clear passage. Sigsworth's kick is looking good. It's another two-pointer to the young fullback, Newtown. And so Newtown have kicked right away. They lead by 9 points to 5 after trailing 5-0, and we've got 11 minutes of the first half remaining.
For the past 3 years,
Well, there's many ways of taking a pass. Mackay, a kick, I should say. Mackay taking it between his legs and then having a rather silly pass. He had his back turned to the oncoming defence, and he just threw the pass, and luckily for him, O'Grady picked it up. But we saw John Donnelly do that for West last weekend against Manly, throwing a pass with his back turned to the defence, and Joe Cool took complete advantage of it. Sigsworth. His kick going down to Gary Darling as a flock of seagulls sent skywards. And the rain continues to fall. Rebo at dummy half. Away from one. Comes to Hetherington, who takes him. Dowling. Merlot. Cox in number 8 for West at dummy half. Tim Walters went in to take Tom Arbour. He's come out second best. He looks like he's done a right shoulder. He's done the right shoulder. It's just hanging there, his right arm at the moment. Grub kick from Neil off a Newtown player, and in touch. The scrum's about 10 metres on the west side of the halfway. I have to keep pinpointing that for you today because the lines are... Well, you just can't see them. They've been washed out completely. Schubert, big, strong, and I'd like to see him get involved more in the attack like a Terry Fay is at the moment with East. And this is Terry Lamb showing a dash of his 1980 form. A very quiet one last Sunday, but he's done well. He's taken 22 metres away from the Newtown line, and then a penalty goes to Newtown.
That one was called for Ship on the sideline.
Blythe letting go with a little right jab, and Lamb. Rebo and Sigsworth of coaching battle. Rodonicus and Neil aren't too happy with each other. There's a camera of ours is about to go west if we're not careful. Advise the cameraman I'd be off like a shot. Not getting paid for that, son. Take off. Leave it. In automatic. Do anything. Well, tempers have frayed here. Now let's see. How many do the goodies score and how many do the baddies get? I can tell you one thing, nobody's got hurt. Closest thing to a casualty was our very loyal cameraman. Having sorted all this out, Hetherington now is tackled about 8 metres short of the halfway. Pittman, short pass, safe, and Pittman flat. Made a good 10-metre gain. Now Rodonicus is starting to call the tune. Here's Michael Ryan making a bus for them. Ridden into the ground about 8 metres into West Territory. Rodonicus is out there at the moment conducting things like he was completely in charge of Henson Park. He's got to be put down once he starts to throw the ball around and switch it. As he is at the moment, he becomes a very dangerous commodity. This is Mackay. Rodonicus switching it around, the point of the attack from right to left, and Sigsworth throws a stupid pass that time. First blemish on this young man's game. And a penalty now to West inside the 5 against Newtown.
7 penalties to West's, 8 to Newtown.
6 minutes out from half-time. 9-5 is the scoreline in favour of the Jets. Play about 10 metres on the Newtown side now. Merlot. Cox. Coming across the ground. Picked up by Pittman. Neil. Cooper. Cooper's put it down in the tackle. Picked up by McKellar. It's the easiest way in the world to get possession. Off your opponent's mistakes. Schubert lashing out and they play the ball. O'Grady. Bowden, he's just got it. He's got it tucked up there under the you-know-what. Sigsworth. Torpedo punt. This could find touch. Rebo's carrying back. It'll roll end on end. Still going. Will it find touch? No, Rebo's got it covered. Away from Blacklock, but Sigsworth is up there with Hetherington. Bevan. Angled by Blythe and Bowden, the two Newtown props. Here goes Jeffries, but a penalty has been given to West. It's against Newtown for having two markers.
Well, that levels up the penalty count at 8-all, but Newtown still in front in the scrums. Tommy Rodonicus has established a 2-1 advantage. They've won 6 scrums to West's 3.
Rebo finding touch just on the Newtown side of halfway. Leveter out there filling a very big pair of shoes. Harbour, he's become the senior prop at Wests very quickly. Cooper, away to Rebo. He'll be very hard to stop. He's in to score. No, the touch judge has called him over the touchline, a metre out.
That was a beautiful tackle by Sigsworth. Realised he couldn't halt Rebo. They grabbed him around the ankles and took the ankles out just before Rebo had put the ball down.
See it again if we can. I'll keep my eye on the action live as you watch the replay. It's a West ball. He's lost it. Rebo's in possession for West. There's the tackle. Judge ruling Rebo out, a metre out from the corner post. Lamb beats Hunt, wrestles with O'Grady, and O'Grady flings him to the ground. He's lost the ball. A penalty to West. Penalty for Western Suburbs, and Rebo comes across to take the penalty kick at goal. 9-5 the scoreline. That disallowed try against Rebo would have at this stage seen the score at 9-8. Cooper running off Alan Neal again made the break, and then Rebo hit by Sigsworth. The lines you can't see, but it was obvious that his right leg was over the touchline, and Sigsworth can be accredited, as John Cootes said, with saving a certain West three-pointer. So Rebo takes the kick for goal. Kicked pretty well against Manly. I must admit, I think I'd prefer to see Greg put close ones. He's very accurate, Cox. Rebo's hit this one sweetly, though. And the sign is them now. Newtown's favour certainly will be the half score, which is coming up in only a matter of a second or so. Or should I say a minute or so. Sigsworth restarting. He's played a very big part in the Newtown lead. Dowling on the 20. That's Merlot brushing off John Mackay, but losing it, and a scrum forming. A reminder again of that Tuesday night Rugby League special hosted by Frank Hyde. You'll see the 65 grand final. 7,000 people cram the Town win this scrum. Rodonicus goes away. Bowden now, as well as the 65.